I was at an event last week and they coined a phrase, sticky students. Which I'm not sure how I feel about that phrase, but yeah, sticky students. So they come here, they study, and they stay.
Yeah.
And that's lovely because they're not from here, but they've decided to stay here because they felt welcomed, B, they fit in, and C, it adds to the fabric of what we are. Yeah. I like how every neighborhood is completely different. That you could go to, you can go to the village and have a completely different experience to what you'll have in spinning fields. Keep that identity.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of places that lose its identity because we get, we become a big city. So then you start getting, you lose your identity, and that's the biggest thing that Manchester's got.
The guest can ask you, and I got scared that okay, and then I asked him back, how are you and everything. Okay, everything went well. I went back to him. So are you part of the management or committee? Because my manager had told me that you should ask the guest, how are you? That's a part of our service. And I didn't do that. I had forgotten that. And I thought a management person has come to check.
Oh no.
Okay. Manchester, here we are in Manchester. I am in Manchester today. Very terrible weather, as it's always in the month of November in England. And today we have someone from the Manchester core area. I don't know if my view may change or not, but I am still to decide if I am a City fan or a United fan, so spare me on that. But I'm a Manchester boy. I do not like London. I'm any day a Manchester person. I have genuinely liked Manchester for what it is since I have come here, and I hope you might know this, or I don't know if you know this, but it is the fastest growing city economy in the UK. So very, very good place to be around at this moment in 2025 or for the upcoming 3 years. And today I have Richard Sherwood over here, who is someone who has been in Manchester for quite a long time, and one of the first people who is quite English who have got on my podcast. So I'll be putting subtitles, no worries. Richard has worked in hospitality for a long time, from polishing cutlery to where he is today. That's a good thing to say because he knows the grassroots as well. And he is a City fan. Not my thing to say. You want to ask him in the comments. An English person, as I said, working in hospitality, events, management. That's the case. He'll tell more about himself shortly as well. And today's episode is going to be about Manchester, its hospitality, Richard's experiences, his stories from where he has worked since a quite long time. And also a bit about marketing as well, since I'm in marketing, and marketing in hospitality as well specifically. Okay. And so on and so forth. Today, and this podcast is in today's menu. Anyone who is watching me for the first time, welcome. And this podcast has 4 segments. One is food and culture, careers, business journeys, and quarter ke kisse. That's a Hindi word. It more or less means drunk stories of what happened when you got high. You would like that. You want to check that. And that's the case. Today's episode is going to be more about culture, food and culture around those lines, because I'm going to ask him what he likes, what is his go-to food, and I don't want to hear full English breakfast. That's the case. And today's food and culture, as I said, where we understand Manchester a bit better. To put in context for my Indian buddies or anyone from India watching, is Manchester is the Hyderabad or Pune of UK. It's way short. UK is way short, but Hyderabad and Pune are like the growing cities and the IT hubs of India. So that's there. So Richard, I'll get to you now. Yeah. Most people know you from the partnerships and hospitality around in Manchester. What would you say who you are outside of work? And I'll hand it over to you, please.
So, morning. Thank you for having me.
Likewise.
So, as some people could possibly guess, I am not Mancunian. Okay. I'm what I'd like to call an honorary Mancunian. Okay. So originally I'm from Newcastle in the northeast of England, and moved down to London first of all. And I was down there for 9 years. Okay. So I'm with you now. I'm not a London boy anymore. Okay. I despise going down there now. I'm very happy to get back off the train at Piccadilly Station. So yeah, moved to Manchester from London about 10 years ago. So honorary Mancunian. So if the accent is throwing people, that's why. But yeah, I've been in this industry ever since I left university. Even during university, worked right up from the bottom, which I think is so important in this industry. And yeah, lots and lots of different jobs. The older I've got, the more stable I am. But I think I used to get a lot of cold feet. I used to like different roles, different positions. I love managing people. I love managing a team. I love seeing people grow. I love being able to deliver something as part of a team, whether that's an event that we've put on, whether it's something as simple as a shift in the bar or restaurant. So it's that is probably the most rewarding part for me.
That makes two of us, honestly. Okay, that's there. And let's say now to get into the Manchester part and the friendly side, if let's say any of your friend who is not a Mancunian or whosoever is coming first time, where would you personally take them to eat, drink, and any hospitality experience?
So that is such a good question because it's actually a really difficult question. Because one thing I love about Manchester is the food and drink scene has completely exploded. It's become such an amazing sector in the city. And I think there's so many bars and restaurants that, 10 years ago, you maybe just would have seen in London. And that's it. But they've actually come to Manchester. So I think that's the first thing I would say. And obviously my friends and family are all spread all over the place. I've still got some in London, some back in the northeast of England. And all of them love coming here because every time they come here, I always take them somewhere different. And I always, can find something that's going to fit, the vibe and who's coming. But sort of I think my favorite sort of day, if I was going to take, a couple of people out for the day, I think it would have to be a nice summer day, unlike today. If you can find them, they are more frequent than people think in Manchester. We do get some very good weather. I think the first place I would go would be for lunch, and that would be at the Wharf in an area in Castlefield. So Castlefield is part of the city centre, sort of a little bit on the outskirts, but sort of completely untouched by the city centre. Think about canal side pubs.
Which is in the gay village, right? The canal side.
No, so this is further down. So this is where sort of towards a bit into Trafford. So sort of towards that side. But canal side walks. And there's a lovely pub called the Wharf that interestingly, I think it was about 15 years ago. Someone's probably going to pick me up on this, but it was actually going to get knocked down. And it's an old sort of warehousey kind of pub. And it was going to get knocked down, but the residents saved it. And it was going to get knocked down to be built houses, but the residents saved it because it's such an old sort of Englishy kind of pub. Go for a Sunday roast. It's one of the best Sunday roasts in Manchester. Then from there, I'd probably walk around to a little gin place called Atlas.
So sorry. If you want to know what Sunday roast, you can go on my Instagram. I have already made a video about what Sunday roast is, what is it included, why is he recommending it, and then you can choose your choice of meat, and then carry on.
So after that, go to a lovely little gin bar called Atlas, and they've got, I believe, and again I might be correct on this, but I believe they've got over 480 types of gins.
Whoa.
So they've got loads and loads of gins. So you can go and, try all these different, they've got little sort of gin sort of paddle boards. You can try loads of different ones. Lovely little garden outside, very, very relaxing.
Nice.
So that's really, really nice. And after that, probably walk up to a newer place in town called Campus.
Oh.
Um,
Campus.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's where the old Manchester College used to be, and it was knocked down, and they've made it into a nice sort of little urban garden. There's a secret little cocktail bar there called Red Light, which is lovely.
Okay.
And there's a really nice little sort of charcuterie wine place with a lovely balcony called Bee's Wing, that's really, really lovely. And I think that's a little bit lesser known as well. So that would probably be my
Go-to bar.
perfect day. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Now, what I have seen, but it's a I don't know. It's a funny thing. Where I used to work, let's say, and then over there we had a team of 13 people. How many English people might be working in that team? Take a guess.
Ooh. I'm gonna say probably 2 or 3.
Perfect. Okay. Now, how many do you think would be of Manchester?
I would probably, but either 0 or 1.
1.
1. Okay.
Okay. Now I understand that. Okay, UK has been. From my perspective, UK has been very lucky to get talent from all over the world and attract great thing. We would like to do it for ourselves. In that, we have got really experienced and very great team from maybe Spain, France, Poland, Italy, everywhere, and 3 English people. One is from Newcastle, and other 2 are from different, and one is from Manchester. Now, I didn't get a chance to see how is a Mancunian way or Mancunian's behavior or something which has an influence on hospitality. In India, you will get this and everything. That's a part of the culture and an influence on the hospitality. What's the case with, like, how is the Manchester or Mancunian influence on hospitality? What are the traits or something, if you know?
I think
or influence. Sorry.
Yeah, the first thing I would say is probably the passion that comes out. The thing that I like about Manchester most, and especially where we are today in the Northern Quarter, there's so many independent bars and restaurants, and I think it's worth noting that I think they're the ones that need our help at the moment, and they're the ones that need to get people through the door. But as soon as you walk through that door, whether they are the owners or whether they're just staff, the passion that's there from everybody is brilliant. They're so passionate about not only their city and where they are, but they're passionate about what they're serving. So they're passionate about their food, they're passionate about their drinks. And the thing that I love the most about it, and obviously being in the tourism sector at the moment, is I think Manchester is such a lovely place to come as a visitor, because there's not a lot of places that you can walk into where they will not be happy to sit with you at the bar and explain what the drinks are, explain what pairs well with this, explain what a certain dish is. So, if someone's coming over from a different country and they see something on the menu and they're not really sure what that is, they will love to explain it to you. They'd love to do that.
Okay.
And I think that's something that actually sets us apart. From everywhere else. I think they're more than happy to sit and talk. And I think even though it's a city and it's what I think is I'm going to say it's a second city. It's up for debate. There's a lot of people that say it's Birmingham, but
no.
It's Manchester is the second
Manchester,
city.
No biases, but check out the data.
Manchester's absolutely the second city.
Second,
and I think for the size of it, it feels like it's a small town.
What, Manchester?
Manchester.
I wouldn't say it's now it's extending.
But I think what I'm trying to say when I make that point is, like I say, I've lived here for 10 years. And even though I used to live in a flat in the city centre, now I'm just a little bit, 10-minute walk out of the city centre. Given how many people live here, I've always gone into a bar or a restaurant and they've known me. Whoa. Or they'll recognize me.
Okay.
I've got friends who feel exactly the same. So it's that friendliness that makes you feel as if you could be in a nice small town, but you've got the benefits of being in that big sprawling city.
When you say about that passion and everything, all right, in British pop culture, since I have been slowly getting to know a little bit about what Oasis is, or I had no idea, Richard. I had no idea. And I was like, once when this is a very interesting thing. I got a call, and is Mr. one of the people from the band. They called at the reception and picked up the call, and I was like, yeah, is Mr. X here? And I was like, I'll check. I'll check if or on the bookings if we have Mr.
Yeah,
X here,
yeah.
who you know now. And I was like, okay, I'll just hand over my phone to manager if to see if Mr. X is coming. Now, typically, what happens is you saw now that if they tell if I am here or if you are here, you are expecting me to be here or something around the lines for the meeting. That's what I thought. But no, those are people trying to know if he's there, and I didn't knew it. And my manager comes to me like, you shouldn't be saying all of that. I am like, why shouldn't I be saying? Shouldn't I be helping people? And I go like, everything was done, and then, do you know what Oasis is? I was like, no.
Yeah, we go crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
We go crazy for
And
it.
then this was happening, and that's where, you know, in the British pop culture, as I got to know, and okay, people are nicer up here. After that, when you tell, I got to know about this incidences, that's where I got to know what that line means, that people are nicer up in the country, isn't on the north. So
Yeah.
I'll second that, coming from literally outside. Very nice, very kind, to be really honest.
Yeah.
Now, as you said about the places, what would be now, since you have lived here for 10 years, you can tell me what would be a smell, scene, or sound which feels Mancunian. Mancunian is like how you say Indian, Manchester person, Mancunian, just for the people who might not know. Yeah.
Ooh. A smell, sound, or scene. I think there's one thing. So I can't pinpoint a particular scene. But there's one thing that I think we're very, very good at in Manchester, and that's sort of creating moments and sort of activations, if you like. So the thing that made me absolutely fall in love with this city when I just came to visit for a weekend, and all of a sudden we decided to move here, was this particular weekend there was just something going on everywhere. There was a parade that was happening down Deansgate, which I later found out was for Manchester Day. There was an activation in an area called Cathedral Gardens, where there was some pop-up food stalls. There was, it wasn't even an event, it was just a Saturday, but, you know, the Canal Street in the village was just a buzz of activity. Just everywhere you went, there was something going on. And I think that's the scene that I love about Manchester, is that every weekend there's always something.
Yeah.
And it's always, whether it's, you know, the Christmas markets that we've got now, or you know, when there's been major sporting events in the country, you know, putting a screen up somewhere, just little things like that. I think that scene, just seeing everybody coming together, and all you need to do is put a screen up and show something, a couple of food stalls and a bar, and you've got this amazing event.
Nice. Okay.
And I think that's the biggest scene that I think just sums up Manchester.
That's cool. I had something coming back in my mind about the cultural shock, but okay, I'll get there if I once understand it. So, in like, okay, I forgot, man. Sorry. And yeah, so in all of this, what you said, what makes Manchester's scene different from other? I personally think, you know, London is like very multicultural, cosmopolitan now, since they have everyone from everywhere and all sorts of things. But if you, I'm not endorsing Birmingham, but if you have to differentiate from other cities, what would you think, that would be a thing, like Manchester is different from there?
I'm probably going to sound a little bit
biased.
Well, no, I was probably going to say I'm going to sound a little bit cheesy now, actually. But for me, it just feels like anything is possible.
Okay.
Obviously, I lived in London, for about
9 years.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I was just bordering 10 when we decided to leave. And especially when I grew up in the Northeast back then, you know, the Northeast was very deprived, you know, back then. So I think for me, moving to Manchester, all of a sudden things felt as if they were possible. I've never lived. I've always had a bit of a a bit of a dream that I think at one point used to be a bit of a pipe dream that I used to think, oh, that'll never happen. You know, that'd be a lovely thing to do one day.
Yeah, okay.
But I would love to have opened my own place.
Okay.
I would
And you
love
can do
to
that in
have-
Manchester.
I feel like it is so possible here.
Yes, I would agree to you. Yeah. I know some of the people in my network who are like opening Indian restaurants, like one
Yeah.
or two, but really good, really nice. Like they are running really well and like they are making good business.
Yeah.
The way they are. Of course, as you said, the food and drink scene has exploded, and luckily people are giving great response to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got the cultural shock thing, which what happened was in India, ever if you go, okay, Mumbai or any city or maybe even a city like Manchester, it's people everywhere. Okay,
Yeah.
everywhere. We have a
Yeah.
huge population. And in that, when I came over here in Milton Keynes, I have said this on my previous podcast as well. Milton Keynes, do you know Milton Keynes?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The roundabout city in,
Yeah.
that's what that's what it said over here. And I could hear my own digestion, man. And it was very, very weird for me because in India, something is going on. Someone is honking, someone is saying something, there is a DJ or something going on at night at 10, 11 p.m. or like, but it's not disturbing you. You are accustomed to it, you're habituated to it. And you come over here, why this silence? And then no one is honking, no one is talking, no one is making a mess, nothing.
Yeah.
So, and these scenes which you say about put up a screen, it happens every other day. If cricket match is going on a big level, that's there. So that was a shock for me. But when I came in Manchester, or let's say in Manchester, that's where I called my Indian friend and I was like, okay, this is a city-like city. This is not like silent. There are silent areas in the city due to nice planning, but you can see people around, which you can't.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think I love that. I love that about Manchester. But yeah, I think going back to your point there, I think it was
different.
Yeah, it just and I think the thing is, yes, things feel possible here. You know, and people are good at signposting you to get the help that you need, for example. So if I start thinking, I want to open my own bar and cafe, it doesn't feel like it could be a dream anymore. It feels like it could happen. I know people that would say, well, you know, speak to this company, they can offer grants, for example, and then once you finally open, the people will get behind you. The people will get behind you because everyone's just so proud of where they come from. And I think we love the fact that we've got loads of different places. There's loads of different cultures, there's loads of different cuisines, and just everyone just fits together. Lovely.
That's nice. Since you said cuisine, what's your go-to cuisine, or if you could have one cuisine for the rest of your life?
I would have to say, and this is why I couldn't move to this country, because I would end up an extremely rotund and large person. But Italian food is without a doubt my favorite. Pasta all day, every day. Yeah.
Pasta, all right. Good pasta though.
Oh God, it's got to be good.
Good.
So good homemade pasta. It needs to be. None of that, you know, and I'm not talking, you know, if you go to a chain like, you know, like Pizza Express or anywhere like, and you can tell it's been put in the microwave.
No offense to Pizza Express, but you can do it better.
Exactly, but your pizzas are good, so stick to that. But you can tell the pasta's been put in the microwave. There's two great restaurants in Manchester. So one's the Pasta Factory, and the other one's Sugo.
They're standalone or they're part of?
They're standalone.
Okay, that's why.
And Sugo as well as the other one, and oh my God, their pastas are next level.
That's good. So you have lived 10 years you said in Manchester. What's the earliest hospitality experience with meal, hotel, travel, or your experience that has stuck with you, which is very intense, very nice, very pleasing, or bad? Doesn't matter.
While I've been in Manchester, I think... Oh, this is a tough one. This is a really tough
I give
one.
you the questions.
Yeah, this is well, I tried not to prepare because I wanted to, you know...
Authentic,
yeah. So, right, so one place I'm going to say that I absolutely love, and actually, unfortunately, it's closed down now, which is such a shame. I think it was announced about 2 weeks ago, but it was 3 Little Words.
Three Little Words, that's a name.
Yeah, so it's called Three Little Words, and it was the Spirit of Manchester distillery. So they make their own gin.
Okay.
And it unfortunately closed down, but that place was great. It was.
Why was it special, or why did it stuck with you?
Because it was properly Mancunian. It was really Mancunian, and the story behind the founders is just great. They just fell in love over their love over a gin and tonic, and just decided
gin and tonic is my favorite as well now, honestly.
Yeah, love a gin and tonic. So I think that was probably my favorite place, which unfortunately doesn't exist anymore, which is such a shame. But at the moment, so one place that is open, and I feel like I do want to sort of mention them as well, because they're just off the beaten track. It's a little place called Jewel.
What's that?
Which is, it's spelled Joule.
Joule. Jewel. Okay, Jules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just on the other side of the river. So it's technically in Salford, which is the second city to Manchester. Again, independent.
That's the hidden gem you would like to share? That one?
No, it's not actually.
Okay.
There's another one.
Okay, cool.
But Jewel is great. It's just off the beaten track. It's a husband and wife couple that run it, and they travel all around the world, and they taste things, and if they like it, they bring it back.
Nice.
So every time you go in, the menu's different.
These are the places you should try.
Yeah.
Very passionately done for the people. That's
exactly.
Nice, yeah.
Every time we go in, they know straight away. For example, when you think about how many people live in the city, I haven't even opened the door. They've seen me walk through with a friend, and the guy who runs the bar, he's already pouring my favorite wine before I've even walked through the door. They're so friendly. So yeah, if you're ever in Manchester,
go to Jules.
Yeah, I love that place.
And what's the hidden gem you would like to know? You would want people to know.
The hidden gem. Well, I don't know if I want people to know about it though. I like it to stay nice and quiet. But but I feel like this is.
I know the feeling. Okay, I can resonate with that. You don't want it to go mainstream, otherwise it will get ruined.
Exactly. But we need to keep them in business though as well. So there's one place you would never know it was there if you walked past it.
Okay.
So it's called Project Halcyon.
Okay.
And it's in a brand new neighbourhood of Manchester that has only just recently sort of come up and coming, called St John's. So it's next to Aviva Studios, and it's the old bonded warehouse. So it's old warehouse that's still standing, and you have to press a little bell, and somebody comes and gets you, and you go downstairs to the basement of this warehouse, and there's this huge, like a lot bigger than you think it's going to be, speakeasy type bar. Very dark. There's, on a Friday and Saturday night, there's someone playing piano in the background, sometimes a bit of jazz, things like that. Lovely. But the best thing about them, their cocktail menu changes constantly.
Okay.
The barmen come up with it themselves, and they are so experimental. They're so experimental. They're different take on loads of different drinks. You know, they're so passionate. They want you to try things.
Okay.
But yeah, you would never know it was there if you walked straight past it.
Okay, but it exists, right?
It exists.
Okay.
I promise it exists.
I would want to go because I'm a cocktail person. Exactly. And so since I'm a cocktail person, I like to try. I'll tell you this. So, you know, Stock Exchange?
Yes.
Yeah. So Stock Exchange, Aaron is one of our bartenders, all right? Very good. I don't know how much is his knowledge, but I have tried 2 of his cocktails called as the Meadow. It's his cocktail, all right?
Right.
And second one is Cafe Lucid. Is Cafe Lucid a classic? No, right?
I wouldn't have said it was, no.
Okay, so these 2 cocktails, which Meadow he has made on his own, he needs to prepare it a day before, and then he has to put it all together. Beautiful, man. Just give it a try once. And the second one, I just had once a try when we were into training, and since then I have been trying to get it, like, because your work shifts ends and then you can't go and sit over there, and then you have to go home and stuff. So that's I'm not able to get it, but it's going to be coming off menu soon, sadly. And second one is Cafe Lucid, which it literally. So my palate is way different. All right, it goes like that. So smooth
good,
taste,
though.
yeah, smooth taste, and then it hits you, and then you're back.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You should give it a try. What's your
Okay.
cocktail recommendation?
Oh, see, I'm quite a big martini person. I love a martini.
One star or espresso?
No, dry
Martini.
Dry martini with a twist.
Okay.
Vodka or gin, depending on the mood. Usually vodka. But the so I think it's the same brothers that run that run Sterling at the stock exchange.
Okay.
So their bar Schofields. They make a great martini.
You should check, if you get a chance. You should check Sterling bar. The setup is mind blowing.
Yeah,
man. I had that's the most English and very nice setup I have ever seen. Like very nice, very dim bar, very classy, nice, and of course the piano is also there if you want to check that out. Where would you find this one cocktail? The dry martini or anything? If you want to try
Schofields.
There you go.
They have won so many awards, and you can see why.
Yeah. And Joe, I'm telling you, if you still do not come and sit here.
Yeah.
Anyways, I do not like English breakfast, as I told you. Okay. I do not understand. People might like it. I would say it's a nice thing, but not for me.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about full English breakfast? One thing. And second, what's your guilty pleasure food?
And full English, I'm going to agree with you, I think is overrated.
No. There are people who are like, oh, I want a full English.
Yeah. And that's great.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge them a thing.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think it's overrated. I think there's so many better things you can have.
Yeah, exactly.
But guilty pleasure food. Guilty pleasure. I'm gonna have to say it. This is really bad because I'm one of these people that I'm probably gonna get so many comments on this now because it's totally not a guilty pleasure at all. But I love a Caesar salad.
Oh,
it's really
it's
strange.
really good. Yeah,
I love a Caesar salad.
Halloumi or chicken?
Yeah, it's got to be chicken.
Okay.
Got to be with anchovies as well. Sometimes people that find that quite controversial.
Anchovies are like small fishes with it, so it's in a water and then it's like it's put on the Caesar salad along with bacon as well.
Yeah, bacon.
Yeah, bacon and cut chicken slices on top, or maybe a full piece of chicken as you would prefer it. It's from an Indian palate as well. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't say it's like bland, but it has some sort of flavor to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but it's why that's a guilty pleasure. I've got no idea. But
I won't say it's a guilty pleasure. It's like nice food to have.
It is. But I eat probably not an unhealthy amount, but I do eat a lot of Caesar salads.
Okay. It's a good thing. You can try it out. That's there. Now, as people say a lot around that, you should give it a shot in hospitality. It's not easy to work in hospitality at times. But do you think it has an impact? Do you think it teaches? I personally learned a lot of etiquettes and mannerisms in hospitality, how you go through, how you wish, how you take care. Do you think it teaches people empathy, or it makes people hate people?
Do you know what? I don't think you can give a straight answer to that question. I think it depends on, first of all, I think it depends on who you are as a person. And I think the one thing that that hospitality's taught me is that what you give out, you're probably going to get back.
True.
So if you give out, if you give out this air of kindness, that you're there to help people, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get it back.
Yeah. True.
And I do think, there's a lot to be said that I've got to admit, I worked in hotels for a number of years, a lot of years, and there was always one type of guest that I hated, that I despised.
Okay.
And it was that guest that always thought that they were entitled.
Yeah, same. Honestly, and sad part, I'll tell you that those are a certain kind of guests, and now I can figure it out.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad about it. Like, I can't go and tell them, hey, you should, try to do with this will be helpful for you itself.
Exactly.
But yeah,
exactly. And I don't think anybody in this world needs to be entitled. Nobody deserves to be entitled.
No, yeah.
And I think what hospitality has taught me about how I live my life now is, just recently I was on holiday in Canada, had a really, really negative experience
British
with a
passport.
hotel. Had a really negative experience in a hotel. Really wasn't very happy at all. Now,
you were a guest?
I was a guest.
Okay, so why weren't you happy? Like, what happened?
So I wasn't happy. This hotel cancelled our reservation 2 hours before we were due to arrive. Lied about it and said it was for various reasons when we found out that wasn't the case. They weren't going to book us into another hotel, which we said is against hotel policy. Long story short, we were put up in another hotel, which they sorted out for us, which was lovely. But the difference is, and this is now how I live my life now, is if you are kind to that person, what has happened 9 times out of 10 isn't that individual's fault. It's not that individual's fault. So shouting and screaming at that individual is not going to get you anywhere. That individual will shut down, and that's how I used to be. So when I used to work in hotels, if a guest would scream at me...
Oh, you have got screamed?
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely. I've been screamed at. So, but straight away, as soon as you start screaming at me, you're going to get the bare minimum from me. I'll compensate you, but it's the bare minimum.
That's right.
But if you're lovely, if I've got a guest who has been
you would go extra mile for that.
I would give them an upgraded room. I would put a bottle of champagne in their
room. I would put 3 eggs instead of 2 for poached eggs.
Absolutely. Because they are just so lovely.
That you want to give it back.
Exactly. They've treated me with respect, but they've been inconvenienced at the same time. So I just think that goes such a long way. And I'm so much more like that now in my day-to-day life. So even if I'm phoning a call center because something's gone wrong, I'm so lovely to that person. I will keep on saying, I'm so sorry, this is not your fault, but I'm not happy about X, Y, and Z.
I have got it in myself as well. When I call the customer service, I have had a huge issue with Wi-Fi with this one company. I'm not going to take the name. And dude, I have to call 18, 19 times to sort that one issue. And I know it's not their fault. They have so many complications. They have so many instructions. They have everything. I don't know what to do. I'm going in my country, you call a customer service person, he'll sort it for you. Genuinely. And that is how it works. But over here, you go to a bot, you go to a system. I don't want to talk to that system.
Absolutely.
And this should be an insight for companies that people don't want to talk to assistant bots. So that's there. And another thing is that people should also know, if you have not worked in hospitality, this should be an insight for you. This will help you actually to get the best and a great experience, honestly. So that's there. And sorry, if you want to have something, please continue.
I just think that's the biggest thing to say. I mean, it should be like this in any walk of life, really. But everyone's just doing a job. We're all just trying our best. And I think just being kind to someone is, you will end up winning in the long run.
Yeah, true. That's it. What's the biggest lesson of human nature you have learned in working so long in hospitality?
Biggest lesson? Well, we've already spoken about it. Kindness.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In every walk of life, it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, who you're interacting with. Just putting a bit of kindness goes a long way.
Yeah, true.
The other bit, as well, as I think that's more specific to hospitality, is hospitality is such a difficult industry, and I think especially since the pandemic, it's got even more difficult.
Intense, yes, absolutely.
And I think it's looking after one another. And I know this kind of does go into kindness a little bit, but even just within your teams, like within your bar or your restaurant or your hotel or whatever it is, just look after each other, because people, you've got no idea if that member of staff who's just come in a bad mood, they've probably just done a double shift.
Yeah,
You
true,
know,
true.
9 times out of 10, these people actually have 2 jobs. So they might have worked a day job somewhere else, and then come and start an evening shift behind a bar. You've got no idea what's gone on. So I think just looking after people. I think one thing that's worth mentioning is mental health in the hospitality industry
is drained at
is
times.
such a big thing, because you know there's people that they're getting home at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're students, so they're then getting up to go to a lecture, or they need to get up to write an essay or do some work or whatever it is. So just checking in with people, just saying, how are you? Are you okay? I think it goes such a long way.
It can. Please continue.
I think it goes such a long way, and I think the one thing I've massively taken from, especially when I started running my first team, when I first became a team leader, the thing that I found the most rewarding was seeing people progress.
Yeah.
And it was so rewarding. I even see it now in my current role. But just giving people that leg up, and I think in noticing when someone is actually doing a really, really good job, and just saying, you know, that was brilliant today. You know, have you thought about being a team leader or a supervisor or something like that? You know, and yes, that role might not exist where you are now, but helping them to get up to that stage so they can then go somewhere else, because it is such a competitive industry. So I think giving each other a leg up and just giving people that, you know, that little bit of help.
True.
I think, especially within the hospitality sector, is so important.
Yeah, I'll tell you this to add on to your point about being kind, right? And it's not about like being kind is about giving tip or something, okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, not if you give, well and good, it's appreciated. But if not, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
I have seen, you know, my colleague when I have worked, my colleague telling me, oh no, they are just so lovely. It's all right if you put an extra egg or if you put an extra sandwich and everything. That you are paying, let's say, £10 for one full English breakfast. You make it an extra sausage, black pudding, or whatever is your favorite. That's absolutely there. And you know, once what happened when I was working along, okay, and a guest was who was in real estate or something, and it was very early months when I was starting and I was understanding, and this guest comes and asks me, and as I was attending and making them sit on a table, how are you? I looked at him and I went like, I'm good, how about you? I got nervous because I didn't knew that this can also be the case, that a guest can ask you, and I got scared that okay, and then I asked him back, how are you and everything. Okay, everything went well. I went back to him, so are you part of the management or committee? Because my manager had told me that you should ask the guest, how are you? That's a part of our service, and I didn't do that. I had forgotten that. And I thought a management person has come to check.
Oh no.
So that had happened. So these things can also happen. And where you say, you know, about helping people progress, this can make a huge impact in people's lives. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because two things. Yesterday I saw a reel and a video where, you know, I don't know who the person was, maybe a football player or something. His teacher came to him and went like, hey, example, hey Sherwood, are you doing well? And he looked back and he was in utter shock because someone had told him he has passed away. And he was that teacher in his life where he was struggling with drugs and everything. He showed empathy, he showed appreciation, and he got him out of there. And he was a huge football player because of that person, how it changed him. He started crying after watching him, and that was a big deal.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, true. And you would never forget such leaders. I have a manager of mine like that. He thinks I'm kissing his ass. I try telling him.
There's a fine line.
Yeah, I try telling him, I'm genuinely saying this. Yeah, sure. I don't know how else can I tell him. So that's like, I try to tell him in a very nonchalant way, thank you and this and that.
Yeah.
He's French.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
right.
Okay. So that's where it comes from. So I'm in marketing. I'm still learning, all right. But it's like now, as you say that people over here stand behind you for getting, if you open a bar, is it that now it's going to a city where you need like actual marketing to it? If you're marketing it to the city, it's no longer where Manchester is crossing the threshold of being like a small town towards city now.
Mm.
Do you think service and product is fine, or do you need marketing still today?
No, I think if you get the service and the product right, I think that can speak for itself.
Okay.
I think people are that marketing is needed to some extent. Of course it is. People need to know that you're there first and foremost. But I think what people underestimate is, and I think it costs you nothing, but the power of word of mouth
is strong.
Is so strong. Because say, if I met you for a drink next week, if I had a brilliant experience somewhere at the weekend, you can absolutely guarantee I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
You can absolutely guarantee. And it won't just be a case of going, I went this great place and that's it. It would be this place was brilliant. The service was fantastic. We had such a lovely evening. You have to try. You have to go. And that's what I'm going to say. And the thing is, you're going to trust me as a friend or family member over, a random TripAdvisor or, a random Instagram or TikTok story that says, oh, this place is great. You're going to trust that person that you've got the relationship with. So if I tell you, you have to try somewhere, 99% certain you're going to try it within a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So I think absolutely, yes.
Marketing is like a push.
Marketing's I would say, to
get you to the door,
to get people to know you're there.
Okay.
And to be honest, marketing can be good to tell people your story.
Okay.
I think that's something else that's good about Manchester, that there's so many bars and restaurants that have got unique stories. They've got, the reason that they came about, or the reason they chose this name, or, the reason why this menu exists. They've got lovely, lovely stories. And I think marketing, especially social media, can be good for storytelling. But I think to get people through the door and to get people actually, a phrase I like, to get bums on seats, is absolute word of mouth. Okay. I just think it is so powerful.
So it's 90. Sorry, please continue.
I would say it's probably 80-20. I would say, because I think on the flip side to that as well is, if you go somewhere and you haven't had a good experience, again, you can guarantee I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell my friends, I'm going to say, oh, that was terrible. Don't go there. And you won't go because someone you trusted has told you not to go.
Yeah.
And that is so difficult to come back from.
And especially someone like me who is not staying here, and someone like you tells me, no.
Absolutely. And I think as well, you can post as many Instagram stories as you like. Say, look, I've got lovely cozy atmosphere, the prices are good, but if I tell you that the service is bad or the food is bad, you're not going to go.
You're right. I have this that's absolutely right. All right, I have experienced it firsthand in a way. And on the other hand, in all of this scene, this happens, like this marketing things happen. I don't know, you tell me, you are better experienced with that. This happy hours, seasonal menus, and these two things, which happy hours, I know it's in India as well. But seasonal menus, what's with seasonal menus over here? Like every 4 or 5 months, the menus change.
Yeah.
Now, my sad experience with that is, I didn't knew what was full English. I didn't knew what was Sunday roast. Okay. All of this, I am ready to work. I am like, okay, this is the menu. My manager tells me, make sure you know all of it before you go or hit the floor.
Yeah.
I am 1 month trying to understand what is the Wellington, what is the gravy, what it is made up of. Example, 2 months, 3 months, menu changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're crying like, I did so much of effort to put this and the menu changed. What's with the seasonal menus over here?
So it's because our seasons change so much.
Okay.
People's tastes will change.
Okay.
So I would say there was an interesting piece of research that I saw, that the amount of Sunday roast that's actually sold in the summer is far lower than what's sold in the winter.
Okay.
Because people don't want a big, full, stodgy meal when it's 32 degrees outside. Because yes, we get 32-degree temperatures.
Too much Richard. No, too much Richard.
Now and again. So and to be honest, it's all to do with the produce, because what I think is so important and what makes a really good meal is that produce that is fresh, that hasn't come from, you know, a million miles away. You've got something that, you know, 'cause I would rather go to a place where they say, right, all of our produce is, you know, it's been taken from a 10-mile radius. That's great. I think that's great. I'm like, that's been made just down the road. You know, there's restaurants in Manchester that are really, really good at telling you where their produce has come from. And they can say, you know, we get this particular ingredient from this farm, but it's out of season in the summer. So then that'll go on the summer menu. So personally, I know it's not great for the staff because you've got to learn it all the time. But as a customer, I like seasonal menus, and I think as well it keeps it fresh. It keeps it fresh because you are going to get those same people through the door because they know that they can come in and, yes, you know, you'll have your favorite sort of staples, if you like, on the menu that you know are very popular, that you know you'll end up having a mutiny if you take off the menu. But I think it's going back to that. I know it's beverage, but it's going back to that that bar that I mentioned in Salford, that their menu changes all the time. I quite like that. I like the fact that I could go in somewhere and just think, oh, what am I going to have today? You know, and it could be something new, it could be something fresh. You know, you're not looking at the same menu constantly. So personally, I quite like it.
Okay, that's the thing behind it. But in this, do you think people might be, and other guests might be, realizing that how much of strategy and psychology goes behind designing that menu?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't think people do actually realize how much thought goes behind it. I don't think people actually understand whether it's, you know, the bar restaurant manager or the head chef. There'll be meetings that'll happen that could take a day or a couple of days to sit and go through the menus. Some like good chefs, like they'll go out and they'll visit where their producers come from. Like, you know, if it's a brunch place, they'll go to the farm where their eggs come from. You know, things like that. I don't think people actually realize how much effort goes into creating a menu. And then equally, you know, what drinks you've got that then match that. You know, people are so passionate about it. And I think, you know, it's very easy to just say, oh, you know, you know, burger on the menu, yeah, great, okay. But, you know, in certain places in the city, that burger, that'll have been really well thought through.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. I'll spill a beans, one just bean over here with regards to marketing, which I know. If you're going to a restaurant, all right, and if you're watching to a menu, and if you see that the lobster is 500 pounds, example, and the rest of the dishes, let's say the egg benedict or the lobster and the egg benedict won't be on the same menu, but just an example, a Wellington and the beef and this and that over along, all right, it's a psychological thing. You won't even look at the lobster, which is 500 pounds, and rest of the dishes are 72, 92, 100, 40, 50, whatever. It's an anchor. It's an anchor which they are putting. So that's the thing you are measuring on. Then you are going to look down, okay, these prices look like a bit better.
Absolutely.
They are not even serving that lobster.
9 times out of 10.
They're not even serving that lobster. That is just to put an anchor to your mind that, okay, 500 is the standard, and then you're going for below 100 with other dishes if you want to go ahead and try it out.
Absolutely.
And then they're making the most profit from there. That's what one of the psychology menu designs which I got to know about it. And can you share, as per your knowledge, what would be a smart marketing thing to do if you want to transform a venue, event, or neighborhood with regards to the same? Since you are a little bit into marketing and tourism side as well, how much you have experienced enough?
Yeah, so I'm not going to touch on the pricing side of things because that's not where sort of my sort of expertise is. But I think it's going back into what I was talking about earlier, that you can actually be quite an expensive place. But I think if you have the right staff, if you create that experience for people, if you create that level of service, people will go back. They'll find the money. They'll find the way to go back if you create that. And I think as long as you can prove that you've got something unique, because let's face it, that is very difficult to do these days. But if you can say that you've got something unique that I think if your prices are fair,
Mm-hmm.
I think, there's a lot of places out there that'll just, charge £10 a pint because they can. I think
Oh,
if you
really?
see, absolutely. I
Okay.
think places, from my experience, places that lead customer forward are the places that succeed.
Customer centric. Okay.
Absolutely. So places that they design everything around the customer. They think, right, well, is this seating actually comfortable for a customer?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to want to spend time? Are these drinks something that they're going to want to have time and time again? Is the music all right for them? Is the music level okay? A lot of places, the music level's far too high. And I love the place, but I won't go back because I can't have a conversation with my friends.
Okay.
So little things like that, I think, is so important, and they're the places that will succeed.
Yeah, you are right. All right. Once what happened was when I was serving and everything happened, and then by mistake when I was taking this coffee and serving them, a little bit coffee spilled down. He wasn't even expecting it that I'll bring the new saucer for him, and I did bring it, and he was stunned, and he liked that I went extra mile, and he was like, "I'm so sorry, sir, that happened." He was like, "No, it's important. Small details like this do keep importance." So that I'm learning all of this, what you are trying to say, and that's a good thing. So you are saying that anything which is customer centric that can help them when you go from something to something else.
Absolutely. It's yes, obviously your pricing and what you offer is important. That's without, I think that's
justified price, what you would say.
Absolutely. But I think as long as everything's done with the customer in mind, I think, and then if that business fails, they've done something wrong. Because it's just, you're going to have that strong word of mouth, you're going to have that loyal base, you're going to have people that they'll go to another country and they'll say, if you go to Manchester, you have to go to this place. That'll do their marketing for them, and they can just relax. So yeah, I think that is the most important thing for me. And I think if and when I open a place, there's so many things that I've learned and observe from being a customer in certain places. I think, right, well, I won't do that, or I'll do that instead, and things like that. Think about the customer.
So a good hospitality. So yeah, of course, anytime you would keep the customer in center. But has good hospitality changed over time from your 20 years ago to now? Since 9 and 10 years, you said.
I think it has.
So what was good hospitality back in the time, and what is it today?
I suppose I'm coming at this from a different point of view, actually, because obviously I'm probably thinking about when I was in London, and obviously the London and the Manchester hospitality scene is very, very different, obviously. I think before, people are going to disagree, but this is my personal opinion. I think people saw going out as a bit more of a luxury back then.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and I think, it would, maybe you'd just pop out for some drinks after work and things like that. Whereas now,
it is a part of lifestyle.
I think it's a part of a lifestyle. But one thing that I do quite like, and I think maybe they say, depending on how you look at it, maybe it's a good thing to come out of the pandemic. But I think, you've got a lot more people that work from home. People don't tend to be in the office 5 days a week, 9 to 5 anymore. So then obviously you've got to think about how that's then impacted the food and drink economy, because on a Tuesday night, you're not going to have some people in the office that goes, do you fancy a quick beer after work? People don't do that anymore because they're all working from home.
Yeah.
So I think what's changed is that actually people going out to a restaurant, to a bar, to a cafe, it's become a lot more occasion-led.
Okay.
So it's a lot more... Now, I mean, I'm in the office maybe 1 or 2 days a week now out of the 5. But what I'll do now is I will text a friend and say, do you fancy going for a drink? Because I want to spend time with that friend. So I will go out and we'll sit and we'll have a conversation. So it's not just a case of, and especially in the UK, I'm so pleased that we've changed in the UK. I think a lot of people in the UK drank to get drunk. Which is not good at all. Do not recommend.
Looks like you have a lot of experience to share for me for the 4th segment of my podcast.
But But yeah, but I think even I've changed with that now. Now it is about going out, and it's it's going to not just where the drinks are cheap. It's going to where can I get a nice cocktail because I'm choosing to spend time with my friend. I'm asking how they are and things like that. So I think it's a lot more occasion led now. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think people want to spend time.
Yeah, this sociological change will also improve or has improved or like enhance the value of events.
Yeah,
I have seen a lot of people pouring money to go to wine dinners, to go to this thing, to go to stand-up mics. They want to be there to meet people because of this side of changes as well. So that's where slowly the money is going lying, but again there will be tough competition going on whose event you are going to go to, etc. In all of this, do you think AI and tech has done good to hospitality, or is it hurting the genuine connection?
Oh,
it again is like very subjective, I would say, because somewhere it has helped hospitality to be more efficient, but there are some aspects where it has,
and I think it might be improving knowledge. I think so. For example, I like say when I just come back from Canada, I actually asked ChatGPT, could you recommend a good Canadian wine?
Oh, okay.
And it came up and it said, we've noticed that you're in Toronto. There's a really nice local wine. So I asked that ChatGPT, whereas if that didn't exist, would I have spoken
to a person?
Got their personal recommendation. They're a Canadian, for example. They said, I know a perfect vineyard. Maybe it's taken away that personality a bit.
You're so right. I sometimes, what happens is when I go and ask my friends or someone who is around me, do you think who is Oasis? They don't tell me. They're like, Google it.
Yeah, exactly. No. But have a conversation. What do you know about it?
Yeah, I'm a what I have always reiterated this in my podcast. I'm a zillennial. Somewhere I know how a letter is written, and somewhere I also know you do not call people first, you text them.
Yeah.
So, so both sides, and that's how it is. And in between, in all of that, sorry, I forgot the point. So I want to talk and know from your experience rather than googling it. I can google it, but that is something which these marketing people have set for me to know. I know that, but I want to know from, because as you said, I would still trust word of mouth about marketing and everything, even though I'm in marketing, because I know what goes on behind it and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's there. Last few set of questions and we'll be done with this. Now, very towards the end, if you compare Manchester to the world / small 20% of London as well, you would want to include in this question, how is it different?
How is it different? Oh, I think this is probably recapping a bit of what I've said already, that I think without a doubt it's the people make Manchester, without a shadow of a doubt. I think there's a sense of pride, and also, and I'm going to be careful how I say this, there's also a really nice slight bit of arrogance about Manchester, that we know what we've got, and we're quite lucky to have it. But we're not shy to shout about it. So
that's not a bad thing. You're telling.
It's not. It's a nice level of arrogance.
Yeah.
It's a nice level. It's not, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I'm not going to name any places because I don't want to insult anybody. But I think it's that level that just allows us to sort of shout a bit more about who we are. And we're not afraid to go after things. I mean, for the first time.
You know what I mean? Okay.
I mean, it's for the first time, we've got, we're the only city outside London that's now got 2 major arenas.
What do you mean by arena?
So we've got the Manchester Arena, obviously just in the city centre, and the brand new Co-op Live Arena that's just opened next to Man City. Now, there's not a lot of cities that could facilitate 2 arenas, but we've got international artists from all over the world that want to come to Manchester. They want to play here.
You're right.
So we've got that. The fact that, we said, so the Brit Awards, for example,
Mm-hmm.
the Brits, has been a UK institution for years, always been in London. As a city, we went out and said, look, why don't you come to Manchester instead? And now they're coming to Manchester for 2 years for the first time ever.
That's true.
They've always been in London. But we just said, hey, maybe change it up a bit.
Yeah.
Come to Manchester. We're not afraid to go out after things.
Yeah.
And I think we punch above our weight a bit.
You should. That's how you're going to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this is how, even just in the 10 years that I've lived in this city, the change that I've seen across the city, not just in the skyline, but in every walk of life, everything has changed. I think 10 plus years ago, 6 p.m, Monday to Friday, the city centre would be dead. You wouldn't see a single person on the street because nobody lived in the city centre. You would only be in there to work. Everyone there go out to the suburbs. City centre would be dead. Saturday during the day, people come shopping, but then again in the evening, it will be dead again. So I think what has changed is that we've started actually changing the way people live. So we've got loads of people that live in the city centre now. I mean, a new tower block goes up every week at this rate.
Yeah.
And interesting statistic I saw a couple of years ago is that for the first time, there's more people actually moving from London to Manchester than Manchester to London, which is amazing. Our retention rate for university students is brilliant.
It's brilliant.
We don't have people that come here for university and then they go off elsewhere.
No.
They come here for university, they fall in love with it, and they stay. I was at an event last week, and they coined a phrase, sticky students, which I'm not sure how I feel about that phrase, but yeah, sticky students. So they come here, they study, and they stay.
Yeah.
And that's lovely because they're not from here, but they've decided to stay here because they felt welcomed, B, they fit in, and C, it adds to the fabric of what we are.
Yeah. Just 2 points to add quickly to his thing, right? I have been a student. I did not want to go to London. I did not want to go to London because I know tons of opportunities and everything and this and that, agree to it, but didn't want it to. I came over here because of an opportunity, tended to stay over here. A lot of my friends who want to come and study and have education in UK aim for Manchester first than any other university in London. But it's a good thing in a way to the standards of Manchester University have rose, that you get rejected at times from the Manchester University as well. So that's a good thing. And I have a British colleague of mine who came over here as a student, who stayed over here like after that as well. So that's a seconded thing. And that's where one more thing to add, a good thing you should know, that one of the top Indian airlines, who is a major player, they also started direct flights from Manchester to India's Delhi or maybe Mumbai or Goa. That tells you it's growing, and
it's a big market.
Not Birmingham. So that's there. What can you tell about what Manchester can adapt and make itself better from other set of hospitalities?
I don't know if there's much we can learn, to be honest. I think one thing I hope that doesn't change is I hope that we stay independent, and we don't, we support the sector. We keep trying to push ahead. We keep trying different things. I think that's what's important. And I think the one thing I don't want to learn from other cities is, throwing the same thing on every street corner. I like how every neighborhood is completely different. That you could go to, you can go to the village and have a completely different experience to what you'll have in spinning fields. Keep that identity. I think there's a lot of places that lose its identity because we get, we become a big city. So then you start getting, you lose your identity, and that's the biggest thing that Manchester's got. Its identity. So don't lose that.
One quick thing, since I asked you about the cuisine part, last thing.
Yeah.
What do you? It's all right. Whatever you say, you want to go neutral, you want to go no, I don't like it, or you want to go positive. What do you think about Indian cuisine and in general? Do you like it as a English person with your palate and everything? Because I have been trying to understand it. Some people are no spice, some people are mild spice, some people are no, I want spice. I'm talking about European palate in total, all right?
Yeah.
I just can't take English breakfast. So that will tell you like how bad, like my palate needs the flavor, the spice. Otherwise, it's totally bland for me.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I love it. I love it as a cuisine. I do like trying new things. I'm not a spicy person.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I'm mild.
Okay.
I am mild.
Okay. And so that's why when you come over here and you go to Indian restaurants, they are catering them. So that's why we go like, this is mild. This is not very even close to what a Indian butter chicken is.
Yeah.
So that's where we say that, and that's one of the reasons for that.
Yeah, exactly. But I love it. I love that there's so many different things. I don't have a regular, dish that I have whenever I go to an Indian restaurant. I like to try all these little different things. I love getting all the breads and dipping them in everything. That's what I love about it. So and I'm not just saying that. I do love it. It's probably second after Italian.
Okay. And would you like to have a biryani if you get a chance? Which is
not
a
biryani. I love a biryani.
Once you go Indian, you don't come back. Right. Thank you very much. This was quite an interesting of a conversation, actually. We'll see if we can get more stories out of you for the drunk stories thing.
Part 2. Stay tuned.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you. Do you have anything I missed? Last words or anything around those lines?
I think I've had a lovely conversation.
Thank you.
I think, stay in Manchester, keep fighting the good fight.
I wish. Let's see. I don't know, my future is uncertain at the moment. Let's see. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your coordination. Thank you for sharing whatever you shared. It was nice to have quite a different conversation. Someone from the hospitality who I can relate and who would understand what I'm trying to say sometimes, because it's hard to find outside my work who would understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I mean is an English phrase, which I'm slowly adopting. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming in and sharing your experience.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you. We completed at right time.